What's up, everybody? Celtic Scarecrow here, back with our video to get those 10s and 20 views. Yes, you've read that title right. This is a video on why drafting Bryce Young was a mistake. Now, time for the intro. Oh, yeah. I forgot to get my buddy to bait that for me because he doesn't have the software yet. Anyway, yes, this is a video on why I explain drafting one Bryce Young was a mistake. But that's kind of a lie. This is the video of why drafting any quarterback in the 2023 draft class was a mistake. More or less, we shouldn't have moved up for a quarterback. Now, some of this is actually on Bryce Young himself, but overall, I'm not disappointed in Bryce Young. I'm going to slide myself into the corner. That way you can see exactly what I am seeing and what I'm talking about. Because as of this point in time, according to hoststats.com, hold on. Yeah, hoststats.com. Website I found that gave me what I was looking for. That's what I'm going off of. Bryce Young, through his first 8 games, yes, 8 games, he was hurt one game, and Dalton did play. He's had 290 attempts, 128 completions for 62%, which is, I want to say, is about what Cam Newton average. I gotta find. This is just something I just thought of. Stats. Also, the other reference is Pro Football Reference. Yeah, Cam Newton's rookie year, he threw 310 attempts for 310 completions on 517 attempts for 60 completions. So yeah, and looking at Cam Newton's rest of his career, he only had 2 years where he threw over 60. He only had 2 years where he completed over 60% of his passings. So not really an issue there. 1,568 yards is kind of an issue. The 8 and 7 touchdown ratio, he is a rookie. I am not caring about that this season. And the 29 sacks. Some of the issues that I have is with Bryce Young is he's not just pulling out like you heard. Jake Malone would also say, like, it's Smitty's down there somewhere and just chucks it up to his receivers. No, a lot of his passes, as you see, when it comes to the incompletion information, 108 incompletions, only 7 were dropped passes, and apparently 3 of them by DJ Chark. Another stat I got off this site, just throwing it out there. But more than half are just poor throws or other, which more than half are poor throws and other, which means I'm going balls thrown away. 4 knocked out line of scrimmage. That's actually not bad at all. I have 0 issues with that. But it's like there was a play in the Thursday night game where he had, I think it was Mingo. Like, he rolled out right, escape pressure. He had Mingo standing right next to the sideline. Like, just on the other side of Bigfoot, looking at him with the defender behind him, and Young threw it away. I'm saying, like, just throw it at him. Let him make a play. Let your receivers potentially do something with the ball in the air. I know that's kind of hard because our receivers aren't great and they're not quite open. Fully understand that. But at the same time, I don't think if we drafted CJ Stroud Will Levis, who I did have 1 and 2 in my personal who I would want as quarterback. I did have the Mayo Man above Stroud. Size, and he did more at a smaller school. But just saying, I had Young third on my list. But I don't think either of those two guys plopped into Carolina, the team would be that much better. We might have a better deep ball, but at the same time, I don't think we really have a better record. Now, who do I blame? Who do I been blaming? It's not Frank Wright. Frank Wright did not build this team. The reason why we should not have drafted a quarterback in this draft class is our team isn't good enough to properly myself back in the middle to properly build a rookie quarterback and just throw him in there and have it done. I know any logical football fan knows a rookie to young quarterback success comes down to the team around him. Cam Newton, his rookie year, he had Steve Smith, just Steve Smith alone, a better offensive line, and I want to say maybe Greg Olsen. I can't remember, but still, he had a Hall of Fame wide receiver. Do we have a Hall of Fame wide receiver here? No. We have a guy who might end up being on those all-time greats, but not quite Hall of Famer in Adam Thielen. Nothing against him. I don't think he's a Hall of Famer, but he's going to be like one of those guys who you definitely want on your team. So, who is to blame? It's Scott Fitter, or he has too many ERs at the end of his name. Slightly onto Tepper. Slightly. 98% this man's fault. 2% and growing by the day on our owner. I would say it's growing because he hasn't fired this guy yet. Now, if we look over, slide myself back out of the way, at the draft board, Scott Fitter took over in 2001. That means the Brian Burns, Greg Little, Derek Brown, Yags Mata, Chin, those guys, previous ownership or general managers. He drafted J.C. Horn over Michael Parsons. Horn is good, but he can't stay healthy. Travis Marshall Jr., who I think is just Calvin Benjamin 2.0 at this point. Brady Christensen. I actually like this pick. I have nothing against him. When healthy, he's a great inside lineman. Tommy Tremble, who is the stud of this draft, slowly and steadily becoming, because he's getting better as a catching tight end as the year goes on and starting to become Bryce's big body tight end favorite choice. Chuba Hubbard, good number 2 back, not number 1, and a bunch of guys who are no longer on the team. Moving up to 2022, is Icky good? Hasn't proven it. Matt Corral, not on the team. Brandon Smith, not on the team. Barno, never heard of. Mays, never heard of. The last guy, not on the team. Bryce Young, too early to tell what we got here. He's not looking like a guy who should have been picked number 1 or in the first round, but it's way too early to judge him. Mingo, rookie, giving him a pass. DJ Johnson, bust. Yeah, after 6 games, I'm officially calling it a bust for the fact that Washington, the giant tight end, was sitting still right there. There was a lot of good players sitting there. The Chandler seems to be doing okay. I'm not judging that guy too negatively, and same with Robinson. That's the draft classes that we had building to build our roster that we now have in front of Bryce Young. Because we didn't trade for any players. We signed a few players, and none of them worked out. It's outside of Adam Thielen. Tommy Tremble has easily proven to be the most reliable tight end. Miles Sanders is a waste of money. So it's like Hayden Hurst is the reason why Tommy Tremble was a waste of money as well. And Miles Sanders, waste of money. Thielen, worth every dime. DJ Chark, thank you for only signing a 1 year and not long term. We wanted to give him more. He wanted to prove himself this year. He's proven not to be worth the money. So, how do we fix this? How do we, as Carolina Panthers fans, fix this? Well, we can do really nothing. Most I can do is a video on YouTube that might get me some views. But how does the Carolina Panthers fix this going forward? Remember, Scott Fitterer traded away 10 draft picks in 3 years for 4 quarterbacks, also DJ Moore, who is a receiver that we need. We need to find someone who's fast with good hands to go on the other side of Adam Thielen when we had DJ Moore, who was fast with good hands on the roster. I personally said in my first mock draft of this draft class prior to the trade, I didn't want any of the quarterbacks. I would not have traded up. I would trade back, add another weapon in like Michael Mayer or an offensive lineman, and then going after draft class in this class like Drake Mays. Just saying. But now, what did the Panthers do? With no first round pick, well, it's the second round. Free agency, I'm going after a big stud receiver. I'm finding a way of getting rid of Miles Sanders, Hayden Hurst. Those guys just get off out of Carolina. We don't care. DJ Chark is already gone. So go sign a proven stud receiver in free agency. And then the Bills game just started, and I watched a bunch of fans put on helmets, which threw me off. Then, maybe after the second round pick, just draft linemen. Just, you play offensive line, taken. I would also have zero issue if we draft Moose's son and Jerry Rice's son. So it's pretty much second round, best receiver available. Then it's lineman, Jerry Rice's son, Musi Muhammad's son, lineman. That's the draft class. Bring in a GM who's just going to be like, yeah, I am going to find linemen. It's going to be boring. It's going to be doing. Hell, it's what Matt Rule did with his defense the first year. And look what he did. He drafted defensemen. Every class person was defenseman. Where is that year? Yeah. Brian Bird. No. Here it is. Derek Brown, Mata, Chin, Pride, Kenneth Robinson, Roy, and Oliver. Straight defense. Let's just do the same thing, but on offense. I don't care if it's all wide receiver. I don't care if it's all linemen. That should be where we're focused on the draft. We shouldn't be drafting a running back. We shouldn't be drafting anybody on defense. I know it's hard to say. It's wide receiver and offensive lineman. That's the entire draft class. You give Bryce Young an actual line in front of him that can give him time to throw, just like the Bears had all Thursday night. A receiver that can take the top off with Adam Thielen, this team will turn around in 1 year. 1 year. Our defense is keeping us in every game. Now let's just fix the offense, move forward. I don't think Frank Wright is the problem, like 90% of the Panthers Twitter fan base for some reason thinks. I do think a lot of them just hate the fact that Steve Wilkes wasn't hired, but, the Niners defense looks hit or miss, just saying. But that's just me. That's my opinion on why drafting Bryce Young was a mistake. bulkily on the fact that we were not a quarterback away like we were told. That's it. That's all I got. I will see you weird people later.